Hey there, so today we're going to be going over the focus cue. So this is definitely a very important cue. It's also best to start off with this just because this is the way that you create engagement with your dog. Whenever you go into training them a new behavior, you want to make sure that they're paying attention to you, not the treat, or also getting sidetracked by other distractions that might be around. Which brings us to the next point is, whenever your dog does get distracted, you want to be able to help guide their attention right back over to you, especially if it's something that might, make them, stressful, or, anxious as well. So the focus cue definitely comes in handy. We're going to start with a lure. So, what we'll do is we'll have the treat at nose level, and then we're going to slowly lure your dog straight up until you have the treat about a few inches from your face. And then once you make eye contact with your dog, you're going to mark with a yes or a click, and then you're going to reward and then release your dog with a break command, or whatever you decide to choose, okay or break, whatever. So one thing that I want to point out is if for whatever reason you notice that your dog isn't making eye contact with you but is more focused with your treat, don't mark that, because what you want is you want to make that eye contact with them. If you have a dog that tends to get a little reactive whenever you make eye contact with them, you might want to look at their chin just to avoid making that direct eye contact, but just make sure that your dog isn't looking at the treat but they're actually looking at you instead. Tico, come. So whenever we start, we're going to start without the verbal word. We're just going to get them used to being able to make that focus with you. Tico. Yes, good boy, Tico. Break. Tico. Yes, good boy, Tico. And they don't necessarily have to be in the heel position. They could be in front. They don't have to be sitting. They could be standing. We're just trying to make that eye contact with them to get them used to it. So again, we're gonna. Yes, good boy, Tico. Break. And then one thing that I want you to be aware of too as you progress is, eventually we'll start fading away the lure, and then also we want to fade out the treat as well at some point. You want to move slowly. You want to move at your dog's pace. So just do it one step at a time. So from here, I'm going to do it without the treat in my hand, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting my fingers in my treat pouch just so that way I can catch the scent on my fingers and I can still lure him. Tico. Yes, good boy, Tico. Break. And also, whenever you're going through each step, you want to make sure that you do anywhere between 5 to 10 reps before you advance onto the next onto the next step. So what will tell you that you're ready is once your dog is able to complete at least 90% of those reps without making any too many mistakes, then you know that you're ready to move on. And so again, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in the verbal cue. So I'm going to reset Tico. Tico. Focus. Yes, good boy, Tico. Good focus. Good focus. Break. Tico. Focus. Yes, good focus, Tico. Good focus. Break. Tico. Tico. Focus. Yes, good focus, Tico. Good focus. Whenever you start fading away the lure, what you want to do is you want to do it slowly. So what I would recommend doing is, instead of going fully up, take one step back and kind of just go 3/4 of the way. So maybe go up to your chin, and then once you do that 10 times and they're completing it successfully, maybe go halfway to your chest. And then after that, maybe we go like 1/4 of the way until it's completely gone. Until you're to the point where you can just Tico. Focus. Yes, good focus, Tico. Good focus. Break. so it just comes with practice. So just making sure that you stay consistent, you'll eventually get there. Tico, focus. Yes, good. Focus, Tico. And so just keeping your training sessions short, you want to make sure that you probably do about 2 to 5 minute sessions at a time, just so that way you don't frustrate your dog. You want to keep things fresh. You want to make training fun, something that they want to look forward to. So just making sure that you keep things short. Also, whenever you're giving the verbal cue, if they're not responding right away, you don't want to tend to repeat the cue over and over again. What you want to do is kind of give them some time to think it through, allow them to make that decision. Sometimes they'll do it after a couple seconds, and then they'll do what you ask, whether they're sitting or focusing, whatever it is. Just give them some time to think it through, and then if it doesn't work, then go back to luring them fully if you have to. So don't be afraid to go back to the previous step. But as long as you stay consistent, eventually you'll build on to where you want to be and strengthen that behavior for them. So I hope you found this information to be helpful, and then we'll see you on the next one.